Every time I pass that grave, my name appears on its tombstone. The rain had just stopped when I passed the village cemetery again. The narrow, muddy path made every step feel heavy. I never liked walking by that place, especially at dusk. At the very edge of the graveyard stood one grave that always made my chest tighten. Its headstone was different from the others. No name, no date, just a weathered, blank stone that seemed to be waiting for something. Ever since I was a child, every time I passed that grave, I felt dizzy. My vision blurred, and the air around me grew colder than anywhere else. What unsettled me the most was how the stone seemed to vibrate, if I stared at it for too long, as though it was calling me. That night, I returned home later than usual. The moon hung half full, pale in the sky. The trees around the graveyard swayed, their branches creaking like whispering voices. I swallowed hard and quickened my pace, but as I reached that grave, I froze. The once blank stone now had faint markings. I stepped closer, my heart hammering. The name carved on the stone was mine. My hands shook as I realized there was something below my name, a date of death, and that date was tomorrow. I stood there, frozen, my breath turning to white mist. How could this be? Who had carved it? I backed away, but my legs felt heavy. The air around me grew even colder, pressing against my chest like a weight. I wanted to run, but something held me there, forcing me to stare at my own name etched into stone. That night, I couldn't sleep. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw the headstone glowing faintly in the dark. I swore I could hear the sound of soil being shoveled, as if someone was digging a grave. The next morning, I searched for answers. I went to the village elder, an almost blind man who had lived here longer than anyone else. When I told him what I saw, his face turned pale. He told me that grave had been there long before the village even existed. No one knew who was buried there. Some said it was a cursed grave, a pit waiting for its next victim. He warned me not to go near it again. But my curiosity was too strong. That night, I returned to the cemetery, this time with a flashlight. The sky was dark, and thunder rumbled far away. The grave seemed darker than the rest, as if it absorbed all light around it. When I shone my flashlight, my name was still there, but now there was something new. The exact time of my death was carved beneath the date, and it was only a few hours away. Suddenly, I heard the sound of falling dirt. I turned and saw the ground in front of the headstone caving in. A hole slowly formed, as though unseen hands were digging from beneath. The smell of damp earth mixed with something foul filled the air. I was frozen, drenched in cold sweat. From the hole came the sound of breathing, then a whisper. It called my name, so clearly it felt like it was right next to my ear. Then long blackened fingers clawed their way out of the soil. I ran. I didn't care about the branches that scratched my face or the stones that made me stumble. But even after I reached home, I could still hear that whisper, this time coming from under my floorboards. Time passed, each second dragging me closer to the hour carved on the stone. I sat in the corner of my room, clutching my head, praying that this was just a nightmare. But when the clock struck the exact time, I heard my front door creak open on its own. The air turned ice cold. I felt something standing behind me. Slowly, I turned my head and saw wet soil dripping onto the floor. There was no clear figure, just a dark shape with hollow eyes staring at me. I didn't even have time to scream. The shadow reached out and everything went black. The next morning, the villagers found my house empty. There were no signs of a struggle, only muddy footprints leading outside toward the cemetery. And there, the nameless grave now bore a new engraving, my name, without a date, waiting patiently for the next victim. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video so more people can hear chilling stories like this. And let me know in the comments, what would you do if you saw your own name on a tombstone?